there are some times, and these have been cases where it would have been, well, had they listened to somebody else. Of course, we never tried to persuade them not to get married. We didn't think, we wanted to try to convince them that whether they were really sure that they were doing the right thing or not. But as far as saying, no, don't do it, we didn't. And nobody else did, I guess. So, and they'd have gone ahead anyway. So there's no use.
Yeah, I know. Once somebody's made up their mind.
Yeah. So that's the situation, and I do think that they were both probably made two good couples if they'd have waited, or they wouldn't have made any wouldn't have married at all, one or the other. If it's one way or the other, they'd have come through it all right, and we wouldn't have the mess afterwards. You kids. I don't know, you probably don't remember, maybe you do, but we used to, well, when Irish had you kids, of course Dutch, he thought the world and all of both of you kids. He didn't, as far as he was concerned, the feeling, between the two of you, he just thought a lot of both of you. And one time, well, we took care of it. We'd go down and get you, bring you up to our place there once in a while. And your mother, she was gone somewhere else. She went right after the divorce, she went to New York. And we'd come down and get you, and we enjoyed having you up there, that's all. You stayed there for, I don't know, one time there you stayed quite a little while when you was just a little bit of a tyke. And
I was about 3 years old.
Yeah,
about 1953.
Just about 3 years old.
Now, Dad was living with you guys, right?
No, he wasn't living there. We just go down and get you there. No, your mother had you kids.
Oh.
And we just go down and get them there, or she'd bring them up.
I see.
For us to take care of.
Was she living with her mom?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
And most of the time. And then we, of course, I never paid a whole lot of attention. We'd go down and that's where the kids would be, and sometimes we'd keep you quite a little while. And of course, you probably didn't realize it, but you didn't have a very good break there. You wouldn't know from one night to another where you was going to sleep. So that was your problem there, and you was kind of a nervous little kid all about that time. But I remember your dad. He was going to take you no matter what. One time. And he had it all arranged. He was going to pick you up and take you. And of course, he would head for Wyoming and get across there, and that'd be a barrier there. And he figured the heck with it. He didn't think he was getting a fair deal down there. And so he got us there. Of course, he always has a bunch of friends that'll help him do pretty much anything. And they got it all lined up. They was going how they was going to get you, and so on. He was going to go in and the house, to take you just to take you out for a visit or something like that. Only it was night, and he got in there, and he saw you and Diane. You were sitting in the rocking chair, and he decided he couldn't do it. And so he come back and told all the guys nothing doing it. He wasn't going to separate you. So that blew over. But when he did take you, now your grandmother was responsible for that, because we didn't know what was going on, and you weren't getting the proper. That was after Iris was married to what's his name?
Dale.
Dale.
Okay, now there's the thing that confuses me. Now there's two different time periods. I stayed with you for a while when I was about 3, and then somewhere in there I went to live with Aunt Marg and Dad back in, I think it was Omaha, Nebraska.
And you were older then.
Yeah, up until I was about 5. And then I went back, my mom got me, and I was there until I was about 8. I was 8 years old, and I remember, and so when Dad got me this time, I was about just around 9,
Mhm.
between 8 and 9 years
Yeah.
old.
And the way that happened, I, you kids weren't getting the schooling that you should here. And you never got there on time. And the school teacher told Grandma that, too. And when she found out that Grandma was interested in you kids, well, she told me, she said, those poor kids, they never get to school on time, and they never have had a decent breakfast. They knew when you come home, come to school eating a piece of bread sometimes on the way, you know, and she just knew that you weren't getting the proper attention that you should at home. Dale, he was pretty cussed, I think, along about that time, too. And so, of course, not that I know him in particular, but I just gathered that he that he was declaring his manhood anyhow. And so, one time, the teacher told Doris all about how it was, and she'd like for him to do something about it. Well, she couldn't do anything about it. But when they were getting ready to move to California, your grandmother told Doris, she says that they're going to go out there and they're not going to put the kids in school until they got located or wherever. They were just going to not tell anybody about it. They were just going to go out there or something. And she says, if Junior really thinks anything of that boy, he'll come and get him. Words to that effect. And so we got a hold of Junior, and he came. And that's when he took you. But he had to talk with you and explain the whole thing. Want to know if you wanted to go, and you figured you did. And so he took you. Never told a word to them about it. And it was kind of short notice, all right, because when they went down to get on the plane or to send Diane, Diane was alone. There was no Craig there. And so...
What'd they say after I left?
Well, first they was going to, of course, Dale, he was just going to raise the dickens. And Doris just told them to just fly to and have at her. That they had information enough to satisfy Junior that if he wanted to do the best thing for you, that he should get you away from there. That you weren't being properly taken care of, and that your schooling or anything else wasn't being properly handled. And if he wanted to make trouble, to just go ahead. And they didn't do it. So, and he would have too. But it was unfortunate for you. You didn't want to leave. You'd like to have stayed with Grandma. I know that. Grandma never got over that. And if they'd have been a little more cooperative or reasonable about it, and just left you there with Grandma, it'd have been a different thing altogether. But I think you'd have got along a whole lot better than what you did. I know, but it wasn't too much of a happy situation.
Yeah.
You got over there.
Let's back up to, well, wait a minute. Okay. Well, I'm going to get another tape out, and we'll cover that a little more in detail for my own information. Tell us a little bit about Randy and Wendell and Lori.
Okay. Of course, Velia wanted a divorce, no matter what. And she didn't want Norman to fight the thing. That was for sure. She was afraid he would. And he could have.